Hello, hello, hello. I welcome you all to my a bit overdue Christmas update thing. So, I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas. Mine was good, apart from the one dark fact that I didn't get to have beef for my Christmas dinner. It was turkey. Anyway, let's get on to the plastic, shall we? First up. Yes. Dark of the Moon, Fireburst, Optimus Prime, with his big, wide axe thing, which is the only reason I really wanted this figure. I've got to say, the Voyager Prime mould was one I really didn't like the look of from the beginning. I really didn't want to touch the first version of it. Simply because, I mean, look at it. It's out of proportion. The arms have got all this stuff hanging off them. It's the most inaccurate movie Prime there is out there. But at the same time, can someone tell me why I really like this figure? Now I've actually got one in my hands. I think because I've slightly wanted it, because it's a new Prime. But now I've actually got one, it's pretty good. It's a fun figure. It's an action figure. You know, the transformation is actually pretty fun. I don't really like what the arms do. You end up with a truck that's full of holes, but it is still a good looking truck. It's got nice paint taps and it looks right. I think it's the way it feels. I like these huge legs and the big feet. It feels chunky, but then at the same time it's very slight because you haven't got much of a torso or hips there. On to number 2, and if I show you these two first, you might get an inkling as to what it is. Skids with a Z and Sideburn. Little mini-cons. Now who do they go to, I wonder? Yes. Well, I shall show you. Yes. Armada Predacon, yes, yes. Christmas Graylage time, ooh yeah. I love this thing. And you probably know that I was going to love it. It's just so nice. Oh god, it's so shiny, like nearly everywhere. And you've got all this nice scaly detail, and then you've got all like these circuity diagram power up things on the turbines, and then you open them up and there's all that in there. And then that comes off. Detailing on this thing is astounding. I love it. There's one sort of gripe I have about him. He doesn't really do anything. It's just a dinosaur with some turbines and roller skates that fold out, and you turn him into a robot with this floppy, flaily, pinchy thing. For an Armada figure, I can see why they chucked 2 mini-cons in, because there's not a lot to offer playability wise, but I don't care because he looks awesome and I've been waiting for this figure for 8 years. I do actually want to talk about the mini-cons for a little bit because they're pretty darn good, I've got to say. I haven't got any of the Street Speed team, any of the hundreds, I assume, versions of that mould set, and these guys are part of that. But they're really complex for Armada mini-cons. I was surprised by that, and they're pretty poseable as well. Nice, and they're shiny too. Present number 3, we get on to the Power Core Combiner bits that Brentosaurus sent me over. Undertow. This guy is also pretty nice. His robot mode is a bit, I don't know, I want to say plain, but it isn't really. suppose all this sort of greyish stuff is making me think that. But he's got Gatling guns strapped to his arms. What more do you want? Now, I know what you're going to think when I show you this. I thought the same thing. Now, this is from my nan, okay, who vaguely knows what I'm like with my plastic, and I can only assume she tried to get one that she knew that I wouldn't have. And here it is. Activators Recon Bumblebee, I think he's called. He's got little arms, and he's just a funny little one-step clickety boom, there's a car, chubby, super deformed Camaro, and I really like him. I think it's the same way I'm fascinated with mech tech. It's just, you can just keep doing that. I'm a car, I'm a robot, I'm a car, I'm a robot. He's actually really detailed. He's a really fun, cute little car, and there's something that's just, I don't know, right about it. It's not the best figure, but I mean, not every figure transforms at the push of a button. I'm pretty happy with this little tyke. Present number, I've lost count. Time to bring in the beef with Universe Onslaught. Now, when I got this guy out of the box and transformed him and fiddled about with him for the first time, my god, I was amazed by this figure. It's astounding. It looks like it isn't really poseable, but it is. It's so weighty and big, and you just got little things like a bit that folds out so his shield can fit on. You've got this flip out gun here, which is sadly his only bit of firepower. I think he needs a bigger gun. And then when you put the shield on the back, it's even got a bit so you can still use the lights and sounds. It's amazing. And then all the bits light up in here, and then his eyes light up as well. I liked that. And so when you get him into vehicle mode, something which I realised the other night, one of the wheels is geared so as you roll him along, it makes the engine chuffing noise, which initially scared some stuff out of me, because I was thinking, oh, why is it making a noise? But that's pretty cool, right? The downside is, though, that it means that the whole figure is built around those electronic trickeries, so you're left with a robot mode that doesn't really do anything and just stands there looking mean. And that's pretty cool, but I'm finding myself sort of struggling to do things with this guy because he's just a clickety big hunk of stuff. Next up, and it's the last robot I shall be showing you, last but definitely not least, the other part of the package Brentosaur sent me. Yes, Grimstone with his Dinobot all stuck on. It sounded very English when I said that. This thing is so cool! Just look at it. It's all spiky and metallic, and it's got guns and claws and dinosaur heads poking out. It's epic. Yes, this hand is all little tiny beast head, and this one's a big gobby claw thing, and then he's got a big tail poking out. And yes, it's mismatched, but I've got to say it's the best looking combined power core combiner I have seen. I think that's simply because all the pieces are the same colour scheme. It just, once you stick all these drones on here, it just blends all together and just looks like a robot that just should look like that all the time. You forget that it's made of 5 different things, and that's really good in my book. And the paint taps are so good. I mean, the red bits on the chest here, I know they're probably not meant to be like it, but it's like where the paint doesn't quite go to the edges. It looks like it's all been sort of worn, so the silver's coming through underneath. That looks good, I like that. The Space Pope hat doesn't bother me at all. And overall, it turns out to be one of the best proportioned, really stable, because he's got gigantic feet, and really nicely posable combiners. I'm really, really happy with this. And the dinos on their own are really cool too, because I think all of them have got some point of articulation, like little arms or the tail moves, or they do chompy jaw stuff, and it's just great. I don't have a trouble finding all the power loop sports on them, because for a start on this one it's on the end of his tail. Pretty darn cool, pretty darn cool. There be my Christmas stuff, and nowhere near all of it either. Because I've got books and the calendar and a poster and a biscuit tin and Muppet socks and the new device which enables me to come to you in glorious high definition for a limited time, because it eats away at my memory and takes forever to upload. Yeah. So maybe you'll be seeing more of me in this sense. It'd be nice to have every video out in HD widescreen, but I don't have a whole day to wait for something to upload. Technology! Ain't you wonderful? So, there's all my Christmassy show-off haul, wondrous, amazing stuff that I done did.